the people where they pay una go they pay that 20%, 25% tax to na France. This is modern day slavery, and there's absolutely nothing you can tell me. Nigerians are slaves. You guys are still slaves. Like, what the hell? This is still slave trading. This is still cutting whatever. This is still slavery. But then in the modern era, this is freaking slavery. You people are being made to work. It's like, let me paint this picture for you. Just like the end of the slave trade, whereby they get the, blacks, African, whatever it is, as far as you're African or you're black, they bring you to their, cotton farm, and you remove the cotton, you do whatever it is. Once you are done, they now pay you. This is exactly, Nigeria is the cotton farm. Nigerians are the slaves. This tax, where they pay them to the slave master. But in this area, it is being modernized. You see, they get these people where they call slave. I don't know. If you watch movies like maybe Django or something, you see there are some blacks too that they put in charge of those slaves. Now waiting Tinubu and his cohorts be. That's what they are. Those blacks they will put in charge of the slave in case they want to escape, come and tell their white master. That is who Tinubu is. France is the white master. Una go they pay your hard-earned sweat. It's just so funny that Nigerians have not even moved body. They never shake body. You guys are paying the 20-25% or whatever percentage that has been heaped on you for tax to France. Hey, this is not a sugar. You see all this rubbish big grammar with it. Translation, you are paying it to France. That you are paying. France right now is under siege. France, as I'm talking to you, is as like Macron has lost control of France. France is breaking. France is actually going down the hill because the Sahel states obviously have removed anything French from their country. And a lot of French, countries, African that they've colonized or whatever, are pulling French troops or French power away. And who is the Mugu to move, to use, if not for the Nigerian president, the Nigerian government? They are used. It's like I'm trying to understand. We are paying 2025. If revolution no stop for 2026, there's just nothing again. Like, there has to be a ground shaking revolution. Because tell me how I go work hard. Example, but maybe someone who is physically challenged will go out and be working hard. Person go they do small shoemaker job. And that person go they sweep road to make ends meet. Somebody will be on the roadside selling food to make ends meet. You will now take our hard-earned money, 20%. We make 800k. You take out 160,000 out of our 800k per month, and you carry it like that. Go give white man. If Nigerians are not ready to shake Nigeria, then I don't know what people are waiting for.
At least now you have an idea why your governor, your president, your senators, your no-balls politicians are always going to France. It's like every other week they are going to France. What are they going to do in France? I told you, they go to France to go and bend down to get doggy. Then they go France and they give them doggy because they not get bros. If not, what they tell French people, the quiet post, nothing. The kind of talent in Nigeria gets, the kind of entrepreneurs, can't keep that way they say the edge where they get from Nigeria too much. They go beg France. What do you say now? Who be the number one for the whole world? They go to bed France. Who make up France now? Who make up France where they go bed? They quiet waiting. Because I won't sell the country, make them just sell the Nigeria. I don't care everybody the rest. Okay, I should do it now. Would they not be getting the Nigerian people's data? I said, they're going to get the data from Nigerians. But data and money. And the risk that comes with getting people's data. And I know why they don't sell on our finish.
So Nigerian government signed a memorandum of understanding with France to modernize tax collection with AI and automated whatever. So my question is that why do you have to sign an MoU with France to help you modernize your tax system? Don't we actually have all the system in place already? the Dr. Taiwo, who is in charge of the tax administration, kept telling us every time, and next year from January it's going to be this, it's going to be that. Why do you need France for? What is France's relationship with Nigeria? And in my own opinion, I believe that this is like settling, France with something. I don't know what it is. The details of the MoU is not even, communicated in the MoU that was signed. Nobody knows the detail. But the point is, what is the deal with France? What is the deal with France? Not even an English-speaking country. France speaks French. So what is the MoU about that you are signing? They want to help you with AI? Don't we have a system in place that is, I don't know. Anyway, it shows one thing, that the direction of this government is actually to tax people. So brace up. From next month, you are going to pay taxes through your nose. That's the truth.
France is now going to start collecting taxes from Nigerians on behalf of Nigeria. France, the country, is going to start collecting taxes from Nigerians on behalf of Nigerians. It is called the Double Taxation Agreement. One thing that I'm questioning is why not a single person has questioned the name. It's called Double Taxation Agreement. That means, to me, that sounds like we're going to get taxed by Nigeria, we're going to get taxed by France, and France is going to collect both of it. No one has come out to say anything. See, they tried this exact same thing last year. They tried it with the Kenyan people. It's called the finance bill. And when they tried it with the Kenyans, you saw what the Kenyans did. They came out, they rose, they tore shit up. They burnt the fucking country down till Ruto canceled that shit. Nigerians did absolutely nothing, and Nigeria and France have signed it into bill. Tinubu will keep giving away bits and bits of your country, and you will do nothing till you wake up. Oh God, I fucking hate my people as much as I love them. This is pathetic. Like, we can't do anything. They want, oh God, Jesus, holy fire, Allahu Akbar. Imam said we shouldn't do anything. Your fucking livelihood is being given away to France.
From January 2026, all Nigerians will be paying tax to France. Me, as a Nigerian, I am concerned, and you should be concerned if you are an African. This is not normal. Since Tinubu made a couple of trips to France, a lot of things changed. The man we have in that Castle Rock might not be Tinubu. There's a possibility that the original Tinubu is somewhere in France. I am beginning to think that maybe the original Tinubu is somewhere else. And the French sent us this Tinubu to come and serve as their clone when Tinubu went to France for medical. Because how can we explain this? How can we explain this? Don't let them lie to you. The Nigerian government already hired and paid top influencers who are going to be spreading misinformation about this topic. Very soon you're going to see influencers, paid influencers who are paid by the Nigerian government. They already made the list, they publish it. If you want to read the news, you will see where the Nigerian government is going to pay influencers to help teach us about the tax. Okay, if there was nothing fishy about it, why the government needs to go and pay influencers to come and teach us? Why? They're not coming here to teach us, they are coming here to spread misinformation, to lie to us, to convince us that we are not going to be paying tax to France. But the truth is, we are going to be paying tax to France. Look, they are telling you that the explanation they are giving is that they want France to come and help them design their tax policy. No, that is not what they're doing. What they are going to do is give every detail, every bank account, every tax ID, every detail to France. Tell me, how can you tell me that you are giving somebody key to your house, but they don't have access? How can you tell me that you are giving somebody access to design your own tax system, but that person don't have access to your economy, to your finance? Are you serious? First of all, why do we need France? Are you telling me that the whole world recognize Nigerians as the smartest people in the world, and you want to tell me that Nigerians are not capable of working on their own tax policy? Nigerians will not be able to. I have a question for you, Mr. Tinubu. This same tax you used in Lagos, was France involved in Lagos when you used tax to build Lagos? Was France involved? Why are you bringing in France? So, on the other hand, we have Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali forming an economy. These guys just launched a program to fund their economies. 3 countries successfully do this. but an African country, the giant of Africa, is relying on France. We are not relying on France. What the government of Nigeria is doing is to replace those African countries that disconnected France. Here's the thing. France is losing economically. If you look at the CFA, the CFA used in Francophone countries, if you go to Benin, if you go to Togo, if you go to Mali, Burkina Faso, if you go to Senegal, all these French countries in Africa, they use one currency called the CFA. Now, the CFA, from whatever country you're using it, already 50% is going to France. Now, after Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso cut France out, France is not just losing. It's not just France is not just going to lose from the money if they start printing their own money. France is already losing economically from the minerals, from the deals, from the defense part. Before now, Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali could not buy weapons on their own. They needed France to do that. That is what is called a defense pact. If you have a defense pact with somebody, like Nigeria now have a defense pact with France, it means that the person have access into your defense structure. You are supposed to have access to them too, but on the other hand, it doesn't work like that with African leaders. We know that, of course. So what is happening right now is Nigeria is replacing Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger. Nigeria is replacing the Sahel states. So very soon, as I am talking to you, the arrangement on ground, very soon Naira must be printed in France. Nigeria is going is going to build up the economy of France. And looking at things realistically, I don't believe that is original Tinubu in that Aso Rock, because I can't come to terms with the fact that the presidency of Nigeria is telling us that Nigerians cannot work out a workable tax reform, a tax policy. Why? How? Was it France that helped Tinubu in Lagos? I understand that Nigeria need money, right? The government of Nigeria need money, and they are trying to tax Nigerian citizens, right? So why involve a third party? Why involve a third party if the goal is to tax Nigerians? We already have BVNs, bank verification numbers. That's number one. Then another policy in 2026 by January, everybody is going to link their tax ID to a bank account. So tell me, we have tax ID, we have bank verification number, we have national ID, and all of this information, and yet we cannot work it out on our own. We need to give all this information to a third party country to help us. And you are telling us you are paying influencers. This is what they're doing. They are paying influencers to come and explain to us that, look, they are only bringing France in to help design this system. Seriously? How can you tell me you're bringing in somebody to help you design something, but they don't have access to that? If I design your house, I know everything inside. If I am the one that stock your home, I know everything you have in that home. Listen, Nigerians, wake up. That is not Tinubu. That is not the original Tinubu in Aso Rock. We need to start asking questions. Things are moving too fast. Let's look at the reality. The Sahel states are trying to launch their own currency to disconnect from France. These people are cutting ties, and every other thing the Sahel states are fighting against. We have our people embracing it, like they are saying, oh, okay, you can go now. We have another slave. Now we're trying to catch the bigger slave, the one with the most money. That is what is happening to us. I am telling Africans, Nigerians, rise up. We must reclaim what belongs to us.
Welcome back to the channel. So we've heard what those people have to say, and no matter how we want to sugarcoat this whole thing, this is just another clear case of Nigeria opening its doors wide enough to foreign powers to decide how their country should be run. Now, at a time when African countries like Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, even Ghana are openly rejecting French influence and telling them to leave, Nigeria is doing the opposite. Even Ghana is careful about how much foreign interference it allows in its internal systems. But why Nigeria? Why is Nigeria proudly inviting France to sit inside their tax system? One of the most sensitive parts of any nation. Taxes are not just numbers. They are about control, priorities, and power. Once you hand that over, even for advice, you're already losing ground. Tinubu's government, they keep saying Nigeria needs foreign expertise, but the question is simple. Don't we have Nigerians that understand our economy? Don't we have tax experts, also all these economists and policy thinkers in this country? Or is the government saying Nigerians are not smart enough to fix Nigerian problems? This mindset is actually a very big problem, because every time you run to foreign countries, especially former colonial powers like France, you are sending a message that you and your people cannot even stand on your own. And I don't think France is helping Nigeria for free. I don't think any country does. There is always an interest. Now, access to data, influence over policy, long-term control, and leverage. Allowing France to be part of Nigeria's tax reform means giving them insights into how money flows in this country. And I feel that's dangerous. Today it might look like support, but tomorrow it's pressure and conditions that we did not vote for. And what makes this even worse is the timing. A lot of Nigerians are already struggling with high taxes, rising prices, and a collapsing standard of living. And instead of fixing corruption, waste, and looting, which is happening at the top, the government is focusing on tax reform that may squeeze ordinary people even more. And now France is in the room while Nigerians suffer outside. African countries are waking up and pushing foreign powers out. And I think Nigeria should be leading that conversation, not embarrassing itself by signing an MoU that invites more interference. Tinubu is not helping Nigeria at this point, because he had a chance to prove independence and confidence in Nigeria's capacity, but he's choosing foreign approval over his national pride. Well, what's the take on this? Do let me know in the comment section. And if today is the first time coming across my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
It's 19 days until the new tax laws are implemented, and so many people are crying online. It's almost like a new wave of misinformation, especially on Twitter. A new wave of misinformation have erupted still around the taxes. Now, as someone who wants the growth of a nation, and you take up those laws and you look at them and you read them, honestly, you should not have a problem with that law. I understand most of you are talking about accountability. Oh, the government, they are not really accountable. But you don't even know what the government is doing to be accountable. There are so many reforms coming up from next year that looks to genuinely address accountability and transparency issues. That is why I see people come online sometimes, they complain about issues that have already been addressed or issues that are being addressed. So I look at them as someone who follows up these things very consistently, and I don't take them seriously. Let's look at this in total. A federal treasury receipt is a mandatory digital verifiable e-receipt launched by the Nigerian government effective from 1st January 2026, mandatorily to ensure accountability, eliminate revenue leakages, and improve fiscal transparency by providing a unique traceable proof of payment for all federal services. This includes FIRS that collects your taxes. So how does it work? What are the key aspects? So what is the purpose? The purpose is to create a fraud-proof, centrally generated digital receipt, ending the use of unofficial fake physical receipt for government payments, licenses, fines, etc. System integration. It is a part of the broader revenue optimization and assurance platform called the RevOP and works alongside the central billing system called the CBS for real-time fund tracking. I'm sure all of these things you people don't know anything about them. It's just complaints upon complaints upon complaints. And we are also making this mandatory by law. It becomes the only government-approved receipt for federal payment from January 1st following a cash receipt ban across all MDAs. I already made a video about this. So what will be the benefit? It will reduce revenue leakages. It will enhance fiscal discipline. It will improve resource allocation and foster public trust. This government know that you people have problem. They know that taking your money and not showing you evidence or not allowing you to come in and monitor is going to cause problem. You think they don't know you people? They do, and they are actually trying their best. to make sure that next year we have the best soft landing as we can when it comes to this tax thing. So the receipts are going to be centrally generated by RevOP platform and issued directly to the players, creating a verifiable audit trail linking payer, service, amount, and MDA to the Treasury single account called the TSA. The FTR or the FTER represents a major digital reform by the Nigerian federal government to modernize revenue collection and financial control. I told you people here times without number, next year we are going digital. These are all platforms that have already been tested. We are ready to launch. The funny thing is that there are people right now who pay taxes, even with these bad systems. Just because they work in the civil service or they work for these big corporations that have to comply with taxes, they pay their taxes. They have been paying. Even with how bad you think the country is, they have been paying. But you who run businesses, you don't even register your business, but you're making money in Nigeria. Every day you complain, but you're living in Nigeria. You use Nigeria's electricity, even when you say it's not steady, but it comes and you use them. You use their roads to do your businesses and go to your work. But let us even leave all of that. People have been paying. You have never come out to protest for them. But now because it's going to touch you, everybody is now pretending like this is new. For people who pay taxes already, they know that this tax law is a game changer. This tax law reduces their taxes and makes them pay less. But for people who you see complaining, those are tax evaders, people who don't used to pay. And I'm happy. So that when you complain in this country, let it be that you are actually deserving of complaining. Put your money where your mouth is. It's not all about complaining. Put your money where your mouth is. All the countries you see around, 90% of countries, what gives them the most revenue is taxes. You cannot run a country without taxes. Nigeria gets only 10% of the taxes that they should be getting. If we were getting our full taxes, why would small countries like South Africa be talking to us? So pay your taxes first. Then you can now start complaining if they don't use it properly. Don't say show us what they have been doing. Can't you see all of the roads we are constructing? Don't you know we pay salaries every end of the month, the federal government? Don't you know they have millions of people they pay? You think money, every month people just go and pack money and just steal them and go. That is not what is happening, obviously. Yes, there are cases of corruption, but like I told you before, it's not peculiar to Nigeria alone. And the systems we have are the systems that encourage these things, which this very administration is still trying to address them. That's why every day they are reforming something. That's what they've been doing. They are reforming something every day. So you have to give them a chance, because all of this complaint, there's nothing you can still do. Just prepare to pay your taxes from next year if you've not been paying.
Whatever is in your bank account does not translate to taxable income. It could be a loan. It could be that you were buying something on behalf of someone. It could be a gift. So what the law says is that as an individual or as a company, you have the obligation to make a declaration yourself. At least you know which one is your income. So you declare that income and you pay tax on it. We call it self-assessment. So one other thing that this law has now done is, while we allow you to make your self-declaration, we will use intelligence within the system to validate whether what you are saying is correct and reliable. So I can easily declare to the government that life is hard and the whole of last year I only made 1 million naira. And government will say, but we see on your payment card, you went to malls, you went to restaurants, and you spent altogether for the year 3 million naira. Where did you see the difference? So, and it's not like government will have to pay tax on that difference immediately. They will ask you to explain it. So based on this thing we have in your bank account, we saw that you bought a new car, that you registered, you built a new house, and you connected to electricity. We saw that you traveled abroad. So it's just intelligence, and this is what is done everywhere in the world. This is the only way to ensure that you reduce evasion, and by reducing evasion, you can increase government revenue without new taxes. So I can say to everybody that if you have, a gift from your family or friend, donation into your bank account, nobody is going to tax that. But of course, if you are rendering services and you are receiving money into your bank account or anywhere else, and you are not disclosing it, there will be intelligence to know that you are hiding from the tax authorities, and then they will come after you.
I think it's interesting to hear that come from you, Mr. Ayodele. Such a big relief, and it also tells us of the fact that there is no hiding place indeed right now, because you're going to trace everybody through their BVNs, through their bank accounts. I'm glad that Jeffrey had to answer that question, because there are other questions as regards even those who do some illegal business, the fraudsters, 6 million into their accounts, 10 million, and all of that. But let's see what our viewers are saying. We have so many questions here for you. So I said asking even up to 2-3 questions. It tells you just how essential this is. So Chidi Ebere from Akuma in Imo State is here, and he or she says, when we say those that earn minimum wage or below are exempted from the personal income tax, as the PIT, are we referring to the gross income
of the taxable income. And she also, or he also says that I will need more clarity on the new rent relief allowance and how applicable it is.
Yeah, excellent question. So thanks to the person that asked the question. So this is also one area where it's not that is not well understood by people. So when you go to the tax laws and you see first 800,000 at 0%, next this at this percent, those amounts are not the gross income that you earn. They're called taxable income. How do you derive taxable income? If my salary is 100,000 naira in a month, that means in a year, my gross salary is 1,200,000, 1.2 million. You don't take that amount into the tax table and start taxing it. You start by taking out what we call deductions. Deductions include your pension contribution, national housing fund. If you borrowed money to build a house, interest is deductible, and a few other things. Life insurance, there's a fairly long list. Those amounts are deducted. Next, we take out what we call reliefs and allowances. Under this new tax law, we have a rent relief that says whatever rent you have paid, calculate 20% of it and take it out of your gross income before you pay tax, because that amount is granted to you as a relief to reduce the taxes you pay, knowing that having to pay rent puts a burden on you because you don't have a home of your own. So when you take out all of those, whatever is left is what we call taxable income. You then take the first 800,000, and this applies to everyone. The first 800,000 that you earn is at 0%. So which means even though I earn 1.2 million naira a year, by the time I take out all deductions and relief, I'm likely to end up with something that is even less than 800,000. I don't pay any tax, even though I earn 1.2 million naira in a year.